No matter who you are, where you live, or what you do, I think we can all agree on one thing. The world we live in is loud. Many voices surround us, tugging us in different directions. Parents, teachers, society. It seems like everyone's whispering, shouting, sometimes even screaming in our ears what we should be doing, who we should be becoming, and what path we should be taking. So amidst this tidal wave, because it really is a tidal wave of social pressures and expectations, a quiet question remains. Did we choose this life, or was this life chosen for us? Now, to answer that question, I'd like to begin with a story from Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. In the story The Alchemist, a young boy is sent to the palace of a wise man. The wise man hands him a spoon of oil, and he tells the boy, go to the grand halls of this palace, but carry that spoon of oil. He says, son, don't spill the oil in your spoon. And so on his first attempt, the boy sets out and he explores the grand halls of the palace, but he's so afraid of spilling the oil in his spoon that he misses all of the palace's grandeur and all its beauty. But at least he still has the oil in his spoon, right? Then he comes back. The wise man once again tells him, this time, son, why don't you look at everything? Admire everything in the palace. So on his second attempt, once again, he sets out. And this time, he looks at everything. He looks at the beautiful tapestries, the gardens, and the statues. And then he comes back, and he comes to the wise man, and he looks down the spoon of oil in his hand, and he realizes that all the oil is gone. It had disappeared. Now we get to the lesson of the story. The lesson of the story here is balance. Balance between seeing the world, which is the palace, and holding on to what matters. This story is a simple one, yet is profound, because it shows us and teaches us the essence of living a coherent life. A life where what you do aligns with what you value. A life where you hold on to your oil, which in this case are your passions, your principles, and your values, all the while seeing the palace in all its glory. Now, I don't stand here today to give you answers, but I stand here today to pose a challenge. In this modern age, nothing is that easy. What I said sounds fine and dandy, but in reality, nothing is that easy. There's always a catch. Here, the challenge is that society doesn't make it easy on us. Every day, as students, I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this, we're told, to be successful, you have to get good grades. You have to go to a competitive university. We're told you have to study this and to do that. All these are molds carved out for us long before we were born. And we start questioning ourselves. Sooner or later, we start questioning ourselves. We start asking ourselves questions. We start saying, am I on the right track? Am I living right? Am I doing enough in the face of all this societal pressure? So another question comes up. With all of this pressure and all this expectation, what is it that we can do? And now there is no right answer, and as much as I want to give you a right answer, the sad reality is that there just isn't a right answer. But I believe that one word, coherence, is key. Some of you may have heard of this word coherence. Well, to tell you what coherence is, I first have to tell you what coherence is not. To live coherently is not to reject all responsibility and to live recklessly, though wouldn't that be nice once in a while? It also isn't to, surrender yourself needlessly to society's script. What is coherence then? Coherence is to align what you do with who you truly are, to align what you do with your values, and to see how you can benefit and serve the people around you. When you think about it, it's pretty simple. It's pretty intuitive. It is to say that my seconds, my time is not only my seconds, it is my family's seconds, my community's seconds, and the world's seconds. It is to say that my time is our time. Because when you think about it, when you live a coherent life, every action is guided not only by your passions and your principles, but also by how it can benefit others. You will spend your life giving, helping, contributing, your life concerned with a purpose larger than itself. And isn't that our hope? To look back at the end of our lives and to know that we left a mark. It doesn't matter how big or small that mark is, but to know that we left a mark on the people and the world. So once again, I stand here today not to give you answers, but to pose a challenge. Write your own script. Do what you want to do. For me, coherence means family. It means joy, and it means beekeeping. Yeah, I'm a beekeeper. Beekeeping is something I recently found. I'm really passionate about it. So coherence applies the same way for you guys. Coherence is about finding something that you love, something that excites you, while also giving back passionately to your community and to the environment. And whatever it is you do, I plead you, I ask you, I beg of you to do it passionately. Put your heart into it. Rabindranath Tagore, poet and writer, once said, "I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted and behold, service was joy." So think again about the boy in the palace as he travels the halls of that palace with a spoon of oil in his hands. Now, put yourself in his shoes. The spoon of oil in your hands are your passions, your principles, and your values. And the palace is the world with all of its wonders and sometimes distractions. To live coherently is to see both. It is to value both. It is to hold on steadily to the oil in your spoon, all the while seeing the palace in all of its glory. Now, our time is short. Seconds are ticking by as I speak, and so do not give those seconds away cheaply. Because when coherence is your goal, you will have spent every second of your life in contribution in acts that really do matter. And that is a life well lived. So once again, I stand here today not to give you answers, but to pose a challenge. Write your own script. Find your own beekeeping. Do whatever it is that you love to do. If I were to end on one note, that would be coherence. Carry your spoon of oil and admire the palace. Thank you very much.